Ecclesiasticus chapter 31 verse 22. My son, hear me, and despise me not, and at the last thou shalt find as I told thee. In all thy works be quick, so shall there no sickness come unto thee. HALALYAM YAHAWAH, BAHASHAM, YAHAWASHI, BAHASHAM, QADASH. Double honors unto my apostles and elders of great millstone that rule well and teach well. Peace, blessings, and salutations to the hopeful elect. It's your brother and fellow servant Ariel from the GMS Orlando camp, and I just want to make a quick lesson off something that popped up recommended on Reddit. Just going into health, going into cleanliness, and this is it right here. Right, it says spider was looking for warmth, found it in my phone case. So this is a guy, because on Reddit it's just people, posting stuff like any other social media. But usually Reddit, you can go to a particular, community or whatever for a particular subject or whatever, and you can just post something, and people will tell you, based on the information given, what it is, or, what's going on, give their advice sometimes, whatever the case may be. And this had some doctor or whatever, someone that's familiar with, what's going on here, tell him that, it's not a spider, my guy. This is a disease. So he said that he saw a spider on the window sill above his head. He missed it and it fell, right? He tried to kill the spider fell, which through the spirit, if you got like a little house spider, it's not a goddamn tarantula or nothing. It's not a threat to your life. Just leave it alone, honestly. Because you begin to understand, you begin to appreciate the Lord's creation. The Lord made spiders for a reason. That's one of the ones like a roach. Even a roach has its purpose. But if it's in your house, now that's a problem. You should exterminate that shit. Or brothers, if you got the spirit in you to take it and just put it outside, all right, well, that's you. But there's I'm just to illustrate the difference, between a little house spider versus something like a roach, because we understand people, their natural reaction, to bugs, insects, whatever, you want to get rid of it, you want to kill it, which obviously this guy tried to do. But through the spirit, we understand, spiders have their purpose. They eat other little bugs, flies. They're annoying. Just leave the spider in his little corner, let him do his thing, and it benefits us. The Lord created everything for a reason, and he has it set up perfectly. That's the genius of the Most High, BAHASHAM, YAHAWASHI. So he tried to kill the spider, but he missed. All right, the Lord's like, look, you're not doing that. It's not the spider's time, right? And it fell, and then he didn't bother following up. So he's like, all right, what? So even the spirit was like, he didn't even bother pursuing it, because the Lord's like, nah, that spider gonna eat, and that spider gonna live today. You see? And he's like, oh, I should have. So he's basically blaming the house spider on his windowsill for all these bumps on both of his hands. By the way, I don't know why it's not showing. Oh, there it is. Both of his hands have these little red bumps, right? And it seems like it's a Jake. You can see his computer, his desk in the background, right? So that's what's going on with him. When you scroll down, it says doctor here. If it's a rash on both palms, especially widely distributed like that, it's more than likely not a spider. Lots of infections can cause palm rashes, hand, foot, and mouth disease, syphilis, etc. And he asked for more details, basically. But when you go down, this guy was like, yeah, it sounds like hand, foot, and mouth disease. It's highly contagious. Go get checked out. And they're talking about, yeah, it's miserable, it's horrible, and all types of discomfort, and it's gross. Now, I don't think I ever heard of hand, foot, and mouth disease until this right here. So when we go and we look it up on Google, what is hand, foot, and mouth disease? Also called HFMD. And it's a picture of a child because it's common in children. And what is it? It's a common children's virus that causes sores on the mouth and a rash on the hands and feet. Hand, foot, and mouth disease is usually a mild illness young children get. The infection spreads by person-to-person contact and is common in child care settings. Washing hands often and well and staying away from others who have it can help prevent the disease. So it's like a cold. You know what I mean? But it's like a cold in the sense that it's like a the common cold. Well, obviously it's more serious. Salaki, I'll say scratch that comparison. Because I'm not going. That feels like I'm trivializing it, and I'm not going to trivialize it, even though it says it's a common child's virus, and it's children that mostly get it. Is definitely different from a cold. So I'm not going to let's scratch that, because hand, foot, and mouth disease, this is something children get from, just being children, being nasty, because they don't really know any better. They're putting things in their mouth. They're going around touching everything. People be having the children out in a diaper and nothing else. Feet out everywhere, all over unclean stuff, dirty ass feet and hands, and they touching their feet, touching their butt, touching their mouths, licking everything, because that's what children do. And so being around other children, being in daycare, being in school, being outside, they could get hand, foot, and mouth disease. Now, this is a grown-ass man. This is a big-ass hand. He has his own desk. And even if it's not a grown man, he old enough. All right, he grown. Period. He's grown. And I'm just thinking about it. Like, the Spirit had me thinking, like, bro, how the hell you grown and you get hand, foot, and mouth disease? How? There's no treatment either. It says there's no treatment for hand, foot, and mouth disease. It usually clears up within 7 to 10 days. Pain medicines bought without a prescription other than aspirin can help release it, whatever. So this is just something that mostly children get just because they nasty. They just be doing shit that children do. And, it just had me thinking because, again, this is a grown-ass dude talking about, it was a spider. Nigga, a spider didn't do that. Okay? A spider found his way into your phone case, and he was just biting on you all day, on both hands. That don't even make sense. When you consider the fact that, this is hand, foot, and mouth disease, and he even said, actually, on the bottom of my foot, it was on both sides of my tongue and inside my bottom lip. Bro, you're nasty. Now, I don't, YouTube, this is just, a spiritually educational thing. I'm not attacking this guy. I don't know who this guy is. He's just an example of you nasty ass Babylonians. Like, this is crazy that grown ass people are sharing their experiences of getting this. What I'm assuming are, you're grown enough to be on Reddit, to be on the computer, typing and saying all this stuff. And it took me back to the ancient world. And it took me into the mindset of, well, ultimately the Lord is the one that did this. Because everything is for a reason. Everything has its purpose. You can imagine, right? Envision that you know, you're training up your children in the way they should go. You're directing them, instructing them, do this, don't do that, right? Your child is being nasty, being disobedient, okay? Common example, don't touch the stove, it's hot. They go and touch it anyway. They burn themselves. They get whatever degree burn. That shit is burning all day. You learned your lesson though, right? You're not going to touch that shit again unless you're a masochist. This is the same thing essentially. You tell your child, look, wash your hands. Stop touching this. Stop touching that. Stop picking at your lips. Stop doing this. Make sure you put all your stuff on. Okay? Leave your feet alone. Don't be around these other kids taking food from them. Don't do that. Don't do this. Don't talk to strangers. Don't do that. Don't do this. They don't listen. And they get some shit like hand, foot, and mouth disease. It's a mild little disease. And boom, it clears up after a week. And there's no treatment for it. Okay? Because it's the Lord. It's a punishment for disobedience and for you being just nasty, unhygienic. It's that simple. You being disobedient, you being nasty, and the Lord hits you with a little simple plague, and boom, you're supposed to learn your lesson after that. Now you got grown-ass people getting this shit, and we've taken note of that. We be in the public restrooms whenever we need to. People be leaving, especially Edomites. No washing their hands. It's so common. People have herpes. People have this and that STD, this and that disease, this and that condition. And they want to say that, oh, it's common, or oh, it's genetics, oh, it's this or that. No, it's the Lord messing your ass, jacking your ass up because you're nasty. Okay? Whether in terms of hygiene or in your spirit, you're disobedient, you're wicked. And this points these people out. This is exactly what it is, man. It's a common case of a disobedient ass child. And that's all that is. So this nigga just dry snitched on himself. And he didn't even know what it was. And it's this just shows you, man. This just shows you disobedient people, disobedient, nasty children, immature, spiritually immature, just off. A bunch of sottish children, and it makes sense that it's a Jake too. Okay, for the parallel of being disobedient. Okay, because we know Esau's nasty. We know these nations are nasty. We know that. But the Lord holds us to a higher standard. The Lord holds us accountable. He punishes us. He deals with us, chastises us as his children. These are the nation. You don't care about them. We know they're nasty. They brought all these diseases, especially Esau, Edom. But dealing with our people, this is why a whole bunch of gay jakes, highest STDs, AIDS, HIV, herpes, chlamydia, this and that. Okay, because they want to go and be disobedient. They want to live their own lives however they want to live it, according to their own lusts. You know? So that's why I read this in Sirach 31 and 22. My son, hear me and despise me not. Right? Because you have your parents that are telling you what to do. Because that's your authority. And they want what's best for you. It's not just to boss you around. And we all go through it as children. We get frustrated having to listen to our parents and blah, blah, blah. Some more than others. But we come to understand, well, this is just how it is because this is how the Lord set it up. And it's for our benefit. Right? My son, hear me and despise me not. And at the last, thou shalt find as I told thee. Right? Eventually, when you get older, you're going to see. I was right. You're going to see what I was talking about. And why I told you do it like this or do that and not that. In all thy works be quick, so shall there no sickness come unto thee. Okay? I wanted to grab this in Sirach 38, right? Dealing with your health. This is I'll just get to the point. Sirach 38 and verse 9. Well, this is important as well. My son, in thy sickness be not negligent, but pray unto the Lord, and he will make thee whole, right? Because if you sick, anything like that, remember, it's from the Lord, all right? Whether it be because of your iniquities, because of you not having self-control, you're doing a little too much, right? Like the drink. It's okay for us to drink. We sip on yayan, liquor, tequila, whatever, but you need to drink in moderation. You do too much, you get alcohol poisoning, you get nauseous, your head spinning. Hey, I've been through it. Okay, first-hand experience with that. And it's not fun. Then you completely reform. You end up fasting off the shit completely. And that's the common example. Burn your hand on the stove. You ain't never do that shit again. Because pain is a great motivator, a great deterrent. And unfortunately, that's how we learn. All right. The Lord understands us more than we understand ourselves. That's how we learn. Okay. Because you for damn sure ain't going to make the same mistake again after you deal with a consequence as dire as that. You got diarrhea and you vomiting at the same time. That shit is painful. It's not fun. And you bedridden all day. See, sickness, man, that's the Lord, man. That's powerful. But most people, they don't recognize it as that. They're right back to the folly after they recover. And the Most High is not in any of their thoughts. That's what sets us apart from the rest of the world. And they're going to keep on making the same mistakes until it kills them. But us, we have the benefit and privilege of the Holy Spirit supping with us, bestowed upon us by YAHAWASHI Yahawashi to guide us out of this damn madness, out of all the darkness of this world, okay, and into temperancy, discipline, okay. So be not negligent is what it said, because that's negligent. If you don't remember the Lord, it's negligent. Then you know, whatever it is, you get sick, and you just, okay, you're no different than somebody in the world. You need to remember the Lord. Lord, forgive me. First of all, have mercy on me. Forgive me. Whatever it is. Okay? Whether I know it or not. Forgive me. Have mercy. And heal me. Period. Okay? And strengthen me. Let me take my health more seriously. This is a learning experience. It's all for our learning. It's all for our benefit at the end of the day, in the grand scheme of things. And it's negligent if you don't do that. Keep that in mind and take that as a very weighty thing. These words have a lot of weight to them. Okay? And he will make thee whole. So he will heal you, period. It's a guarantee. Leave off from sin and order thy hands aright, and cleanse thy heart from all wickedness, right? And basically sacrifice yourself, because we know that we can't sacrifice anything right now, like in our temple, and with the oils and the fat, the calves, and all these things, right? But we can make our bodies living sacrifices, give our time and effort to YAHAWASHI Yahawashi. Okay, occupy ourselves in the meditation thereof. That's the sacrifice right now. Okay? And that's what the Lord wants from us, obedience. Otherwise, you're going to end up like that guy. People like him. Because it's not even about him. Okay, it's about the principle. That's what it's about. These people don't matter. Okay, they're just ultimately the world is full of a bunch of sheep. The only ones that matter is the elect. The people, they're NPCs. Now, I don't mean that literally, right? But you know what I mean. At the end of the day, people are really NPCs. They don't really matter. They're the multitude that shall perish at the end of the day because they're wicked. What matters is the elect maneuvering through all of this and learning along the process of, partaking in the sufferings of Yahawashi. So you understand what I'm saying. Lord's will. So jumping down to verse 15. He that sinneth before his maker, right? He that sinneth before his maker, let him fall into the hand of the physician. See? You're going to fall into the hand of, and this time, you're going to fall into the hands of Esau. And you're going to be on a prescription for life. Pockets getting drained. You're not being healed. And you develop all types of side effects, symptoms, pain, forever a slave to the damn medical industry. That's all it is about money. You try to, like the apostles say, stay about them damn hospitals as best as you can. Because sometimes, you can't, ain't nothing you can do but go to them because we're under the curses. But if you can stay about them hospitals, you have the resources there. As organic, as healthy, as non-GMO as you can, do it. Because you don't want to fall into the hands of these you do not want to be at the mercy of this damn devil, man. At all. Because he's not going to help you. He's gonna destroy you even more. Right? So he that sinneth before his maker, let him fall into the hand of the physician. That's what's going to happen. As you continue to be disobedient, you want to be a nasty little kid and just dabble in all and meddle in all types of everything. Putting things, foreign objects into your mouth. You got sores and blisters on your tongue and your lips, your hands and your feet because you don't clean yourself. You don't listen to your parents. You don't listen to your heavenly Father. That's what it's really about. So it just made me think about that. I don't want to, just keep rambling, saying the same thing, but it's all through the Spirit. So I pray this is edifying, exhorting and uplifting through the Spirit and power of BAHASHAM, Yahawashi, the YAHAWAH, BAHASHAM, Yahawashi, RAWCHAA, QADASH, bestowed upon me to bring out this lesson and push forth this word. Keep pushing, keep praying, keep fasting, keep enduring, keep striving for the truth unto death, and Yahawah, BAHASHAM, Yahawashi shall fight for thee, and keep abiding in the faith. Abad Babal, Kwam Yasharala, say strong, we're almost home. Shalom, Wa, Barakyam, Al-Ha, Bakharyam, meaning peace and blessings unto the elect. Yahawah, BAHASHAM, Yahawashi, Ratazah, willing we may be a part of that number. May the blessing of election be upon all your households, and blessings, honor, glory, and power be unto YAHAWAH, YAHAWASHI, Tham Yad Wa, LaIWaLAM, always and forever. Shalom.